after holding the virtual plenary meetings from February 22 to 25, 2021 in Paris. The Financial Action Task Force, FATF, kept Pakistan on the grey list for another extended period till June 2021 and asked for complying with the remaining 3 points of the 27-point action plan. FATF's 3 remaining demands include: 1. TF, terror financing, investigations and prosecutions of target persons and entities. 2. TF prosecutions result in effective, proportionate and dissuasive sanctions, and 3. Effective implementation of targeted financial sanctions (TFS), terror financing sanctions, against all 1267 and 1373 designated terrorists, specifically those acting for or on their behalf. Addressing an online news briefing in Paris, FATF's president Dr. Marcus Player said, "Pakistan will remain on the grey list as some deficiencies still exist as out of 27 action plans." The FATF authorities provided the opportunity to many Indian journalists to ask questions. But many Pakistani journalists could not get a chance despite raising hands in the news briefing. However, active Indian lobbying and propaganda campaigns to blacklist Pakistan failed. While a minimum of 3 votes by FATF members are required to avoid the blacklist, and Islamabad enjoys the unwavering support of Malaysia, Turkey, and its all-weather friend China. Some pro-Indian European countries, especially France and Germany, had recommended to the FATF to maintain Pakistan on the grey list, saying that not all factors had been totally applied by Islamabad. Last year, the PTI-led government got 3 laws: the Anti-Money Laundering, Second Amendment, Bill 2020, the Anti-Terrorism Act, ATA, Third Amendment, Bill 2020, and the Islamabad Capital Territory Waqf Properties Bill 2020, which were passed in the joint sitting of Parliament. In recent months, law enforcement agencies have cracked down on hardliner religious groups, particularly Lashkar-e-Taiba, LET, and its welfare arms, Jamaatud Dawa, JUD, and Falahee-e-Insaniyat, and on their sources of income, arresting, trying, and convicting several of their members and leaders. Pakistan has been on the grey list of the FATF since June 2018. In this regard, some Western countries and especially India have been calling on Pakistan to take action against the terror groups to avoid the dark grey list status of the FATF. They have long failed to do so. Indian media spreads disinformation that Pakistan may be put on the dark grey list. For years, New Delhi has also been accusing Islamabad of using the banking system to sponsor terrorism. On the other side, the involvement of Indian banks in money laundering and financing terrorism has been exposed. In this context, on September 27 last year, a report of the top-secret files of the U.S. Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, which works to combat money laundering, terrorism financing and financial fraud, has revealed the involvement of Indian banks, including state-owned banks, in money laundering through transactions used in facilitating and financing acts of terrorism, particularly in the region. The entities and individuals were involved in money laundering of $1.53 billion through 3,201 illegal and suspicious transactions between 2011 and 2017. There are also reports that gold and diamond were also used for money laundering. While the Indian Premier League cricket tournament has also been pointed out for money laundering practices by the Indian judiciary, notably in November last year at a joint press conference and a joint press briefing. Director General of Inter-Services Public Relations, ISPR, Major General Babar Iftikhar and Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi unveiled a dossier containing irrefutable evidence of India's sponsorship of terrorism in Pakistan. In recent statements, Prime Minister Imran Khan and DG of the ISPR Marj Gen. Babar Iftikhar also pointed out these facts. Nevertheless, Pakistan's ambassador to the UN Munir Akram handed over the dossier to the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres on India's campaign to promote terrorism in Pakistan and the entire region. In its 27th report, dated February 3, 2021, the UN Security Council's monitoring team for tracking terrorist groups verified Pakistan's dossier. While acknowledging Pakistan's efforts in arresting individuals engaging in terrorism financing and noting the threat from the TTP, the reunification of splinter groups, of TTP, in Afghanistan, which enhanced the threat of terrorism not only to Pakistan but the entire region, according to the UN report of July 26, 2020. The banned Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and its splinter group Jamaat ul-Ahrar continue to target Pakistan from their bases in Afghanistan, the significant presence of ISIL-K, the Islamic State of Iraq, and the Levant Khorasan, in Afghanistan, which the UN warns now pursues a global agenda.